All right, the next game we're going to discuss, moving to the NFL, Denver against Baltimore. Denver, two close games, right? They beat Oakland but lost ATS. Ravens coming off of the loss to Cincinnati last week. Al McMorty, you and Ian Cameron went head-to-head, and you came out on the right side of that one. You did take Cincinnati last week. Now Baltimore is a pretty big favorite here. I was thinking that maybe Baltimore, I think Flacco might have a good passing day here, and I was thinking maybe passing yards over for Flacco, or more specifically receiving yards overs for the tight ends. I think they're doing a good job using their tight ends, and I think that they might have an edge there. So maybe the best way to bet this game when it comes down to it on game day is some props, some offensive props for Baltimore. I feel like Baltimore should have the edge here, but of course they're given a healthy amount of points. What do you like here, Al?
Well, I think Denver's flying a bit under the radar for a 2-0 team. And as you mentioned, Peter, that's primarily because they've won their first two games by a combined 4 points, and they've yet to cover the point spread this season. But teams that didn't cover the point spread in either of their first two games, they've gone 57% ATS over the last 38 years in week number 3, including 49 and 28 ATS if they're matched up against an opponent off a straight-up loss. So that's one reason I really like Denver here. Another is that undefeated teams are 31 and 22 ATS as an underdog in week 3, including 24 and 13 ATS versus 500 or better opponents off a loss. So I just, it's a lot of points. 5 points is a lot of points here. I'm going to take Denver as the dog.
Yeah, it's actually gotten bet up to 5.5, and actually BetMania and BetPhoenix are already at 6. We don't, they're already at 6. We don't use that, but we can give you a Pinnacle plus 5.5 minus 103, plus 5.5 minus 103. Money is coming in on the Ravens, and the Ravens are definitely a flawed team, right? They have obvious issues on the offensive line. Again, I think that the picks that I'm going to give on this one might just be tight end receiving yardage. I'm going to pick one or two, or maybe both of the tight ends, and take a shot with the receiving yardage over. I think they're going to utilize that strategy in this game and be somewhat successful with it. Ian Cameron, Baltimore is the favorite here, but Al McMorty thinks they're getting too many points. What do you think?
You know what? I thought the spot was initially very, very good for Baltimore, but I was hoping to lay 2.5, 3 with Baltimore in this game, not 5, and not with what I've seen. And they have the extra time to prepare because they played last Thursday night, and they've relatively been a good home team. But you're starting to see I'm starting to read this injury report for them. It's troublesome. They got a key offensive tackle that may not play in this game. They're already without Jimmy Smith in the secondary. C.J. Mosley left the last game with a bone bruise in his left knee, and he may not play in this game at linebacker for the Ravens. So there's some big-time injury concerns. I like the spot for them, but this is not a Joe Flacco type of lay 5 points with offense against what's still a pretty good Denver defense. Are they as good maybe as last year? Maybe a slight notch down, but it's still a good defense. So I was leaning Baltimore, no value, so I'm passing.
Okay, so you're passing. Al McMorty's going to take Denver plus 5.5. Again, I'm going to be looking for some tight end props for Baltimore in this game as maybe my official picks on that one.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.